Hello and welcome to Verdict 2015. Now more than 53% voting in the third phase of assembly elections in Bihar. Women again outnumbered men in exercising their franchise. Well, all news and updates from poll-bound Bihar in our election special bulletin. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the headlines. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar claims there is no neck-and-neck fight in Bihar. The Grand Alliance will be the clear winner. Brushes aside reports of differences with Lalu Yadav. Rahul Gandhi to address 3 rallies in Bihar today. All 3 constituencies go to polls in the 5th and final phase. AIMM chief Asaduddin Owaisi arrested and released on bail for model code violation after public meeting at religious place. Owaisi says he wasn't campaigning. And we throw the spotlight on Gopalganj's power grid. As despite surplus supply of power, villages in North Bihar still remain powerless. Well, over 53% of the 1.45 crore eligible voters cast their vote in the third phase of polling held on Wednesday. Prominent candidates, including 2 sons of RJD chief Lalu Prasad, who contested from Raghopur and Mahua constituencies of Vaishali district. No untoward incident was reported. Here are the details.
Voting for the third phase of elections in Bihar began at 7 a.m. in the morning. The fate of 808 candidates in 50 constituencies spread over 6 districts was sealed earlier on Wednesday. The districts that went to polls are Bhojpur, Buxar, Nalanda, Patna, Saran and Vaishali.
दाम कम चाहिए, बहुत महंगाई हो रहा है तो घर चलाने में दिक्कत हो रहा है, इसीलिए दाम कम होना चाहिए।
मुद्दे तो हम बताए आपसे कि नौजवानों को कुछ ये होना चाहिए कि नौकरी मिले, जो ऐसे भटक रहे हैं तो ये मुद्दा रहना चाहिए खास के, और महंगाई है उसको कम होना चाहिए, मेन तो यही है।
Voting began at 7 a.m. in 14,170 polling stations. The polling came to an end at 4 p.m. in 10 constituencies due to security reasons and at 5 p.m. in the rest of the 40 constituencies. After peaceful polling in the first 2 phases, no untoward incident was reported in this phase either.
जो 6 जिले सारण, वैशाली, नालंदा, पटना, भोजपुर और बक्सर के 50 विधानसभा क्षेत्रों के लिए संपन्न हुआ, उसमें ये पूर्ण रूप से शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से समाप्त हुआ।
Let's take a look now at some of the crucial numbers of the third phase. A total of 50 constituencies went to polls in the third phase. 808 candidates were in the fray in this phase, out of which 71 or 9% were female candidates. A total of 14,170 polling stations were used. 1.45 crore people were eligible to cast their vote in the third phase, out of which 78,31,388 were male, 66,86,718 were female voters and 599 others. The fate of several heavyweights was sealed in this phase, including that of Lalu Prasad's 2 sons Tej Pratap Yadav and Tejasvi Yadav, contesting from Mahua and Raghopur seats respectively.
पूरा महागठबंधन बिहार के 5 चरण में स्वीप कर रहा है। इसमें भाजपा खास करके नरेंद्र मोदी जी लगातार कमल कार्ड खेल रहे हैं।
I don't think so. There is a battle. It's now just the formality is just left over there, or it's actually in my constituency, BJP didn't got any of the candidates against me. Not a perfect candidate. So they have taken a JDU's MLA for the last time, and they have taken it them.
भाई तो मेरे दोनों जीत रहे हैं और महागठबंधन के जितने भी उम्मीदवार हैं उनके सबके जीत की कामना मैं करती हूँ।
The other prominent politicians whose fate was decided in this round were BJP leader Nandkishore Yadav from Patna Sahib, Ministers Shyam Rajak and Shravan Kumar from Pulwari and Nalanda seats respectively, Deputy Speaker Amrendra Pratap Singh from Ara and BJP's Chief Whip in the State Assembly Arun Kumar Sinha from Kumrar.
मैंने अपना वोट डाल दिया है और वोट डालने के लिए हम यहाँ आए हैं और वोट डालने के बाद हम आगे के चुनाव प्रचार में निकल रहे हैं। सभी मतदाताओं को अपना वोट
ने हमारा हिसाब से पूरी बिहार में 5 चरणों में बीजेपी आगे रहेगा। कारण क्या है, लोगों में एक परिवर्तन का इच्छा है.
Apart from the heavyweights in the fray, there were several other bigwigs who cast their vote, including Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, BJP leader Sushil Modi, and Union Ministers Ravi Shankar Prasad and Rajiv Pratap Rudy, among others.
प्रथम और द्वितीय चरण था, उसमें हम 2/3 की बहुमत से हमारा लीड है और ये तीसरे चरण में मेरा विश्वास है कि ये 3/4 की बहुमत तक जाएगा और हर हालत में बिहार में सरकार बनाएंगे. ममता जी आ जाएं, अरविंद केजरीवाल आ जाएं, कोई अपील कर, इनकी अपील का कोई असर नहीं पड़ने वाला है.
कि अपने नेताओं से फील्ड में चर्चा करने के बाद और अपने इंडिपेंडेंट सोर्स से वेरीफाई करने के बाद जो हमारा निष्कर्ष है वो ये है कि आज का दिन हमारे लिए बहुत ही उत्साहवर्धक रहा है. फर्स्ट सेकंड फेज भी हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा रहा है.
In the last assembly poll in 2010, the JDU had won 23 seats while the BJP had won 19 of the 50 constituencies. This time around, from the Grand Secular Alliance, RJD contested from 25 seats, JDU 18 and Congress 7. From NDA, BJP contested from 34, LJP 10, Hindustani Awam Morcha 4 and Rashtriya Lok Samta Party 2. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
All right, joining me for a chat this morning is Mr. Sanjay Kumar Sinha, who's the Bureau Chief with the PTI. Good morning, Mr. Sinha, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. Mr. Sinha, now the third phase turnout in Bihar again surpassing the polling numbers 5 years ago, 53% voting turnout recorded. Should the BJP and the NDA alliance really be happy? Mr. Sinha, can you hear me? All right, there seems to be some audio problem there. We'll try to connect back to Mr. Sinha. Remember, it was yesterday that the third phase polling was held and an overall voting turnout of 53% was recorded according to the Election Commission. Looking at the crucial numbers of the third phase, remember, a total of 50 constituencies went to polls in the third phase yesterday. Mr. Sinha, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
All right. Mr. Sinha, I wanted to know from you now at 53% voter turnout in the third phase we saw, just like the rest of the two earlier phases also, again a good voter turnout. Should the BJP and the NDA be really happy with this turnout really?
Yeah, actually, the thing is that both the groupings, we are equally poised in this election, are claiming their victory. But the thing is that what I see on the ground is that there is a close fight between both the grouping, NDA as well as Grand Secular Alliance. So in all the three phases, what has been seen on the ground is that both the parties, they are close fight and it will be a close finish at the end. But the thing is that when the elections are in process, everybody claims victory to keep enthusiasm of their workers alive. But on ground, what I see, the fight is close and it will be a close finish of the poll, notwithstanding the claims made by both the groupings.
But as far as the voting turnout is concerned, we are seeing record numbers, of course, 53% record voter turnout we recorded was recorded yesterday, and again women outnumbering men in this phase as well. So what should we make out of this?
Actually, it's a pleasant picture. More voters turnout are registered in this election in comparison to it was in 2010. But thing is that what Election Commission themselves are speaking, they were expecting more voter turnout. If you can analyze in the first phase, the polling percentage was 57.
Yes.
Then it reduced down to 54.5, and in this phase it was 53.32.
Yes.
So there is a marginal decline in the polling percentage, but it's impressive and more than what it was in 2010.
Yes.
And the pleasant picture out of this voter turnout in all the three phases which was seen, where the women are coming to polling booth more in numbers than the male. It's a pleasant picture, it's a change. Although both the groupings are interpreting it in their own way, NDA is saying since they are scared of Lalu Prasad return of Jungle Raj, they are coming in large number to vote so that he doesn't come to power. But Nitish Kumar in his grouping claims since he has done so much things for the women welfare, they are coming to pay dividend of that effort. But it's a pleasant picture, more women and they are setting an example. They are setting an example in the family and in the society when they can come out leaving all their housework. Why don't men also come out to the polling booth and vote so that the future of Bihar can be decided on their votes?
Also, Mr. Sinha, it is said that this phase, the one that got over yesterday, the third phase is going to be really crucial because the alliance which gains a lead by this phase is probably going to decide how the next two phases also take place.
Actually, what I see on ground, there is a fight. Both the groupings are strong. They have their advantages and disadvantages. So what I see in all the 5 phases, the fight is close. As it was seen in the previous 3 phases, in the next 2 phases also, and every constituency, there is a strong contest between the Grand Secular Alliance as well as NDA. Although the third front had also come, but it fizzled out early, and so I think now it's a direct fight between NDA as well as this Grand Secular Alliance. There is a strong contest in all the constituency. It was seen in the 3 phases where elections were completed in 131 constituency. In the rest 112 constituency which will go into polling in next 2 phases also, there is a close fight. So every seat is seeing a keen contest between contest, and the next 2 phases also. That's why all the big leaders after yesterday voting, the Prime Minister is coming tomorrow, Rahul Gandhi is coming today. So they are putting their all efforts to win as many seats as they can. So all the seats are witnessing a keen contest as it was in the first 3 phases. In next 2 phases also, it will be the same picture.
All right. So you are saying it is going to be a neck and neck fight. But probably Chief Minister Nitish Kumar doesn't agree. I will just come back to you, Mr. Sinha, and take your views on this story, because Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has now claimed that the Bihar election results is a foregone conclusion and that the Grand Alliance is winning hands down. Nitish has also quelled reports of any disagreement with alliance partner in RJD Chief Lalu Yadav.
पोलिंग प्रोसेस जो है अब वो तीसरे चरण भी कंप्लीट हो चुका है. आपको अब क्या लगता है, जीत दिख रही है आपको या फिर अभी भी नेक टू नेक है?
नेक टू नेक कहाँ, यहाँ बिहार में कुछ भी नेक टू नेक नहीं होता. यहाँ डे 1 से ऐसी बात नहीं थी. बीजेपी के लोगों ने हवा बनाने की कोशिश की थी और वो हवा बांधने में बहुत उस्ताद है. तो उसके चलते अपने पब्लिसिटी टेक्निक के जरिए वो एक माहौल बनाते हैं. बीजेपी का उतना बड़ा आधार यहाँ नहीं है. लोकसभा के चुनाव में उनको सफलता मिल गई थी. वो वोट का विभाजन हुआ था लालू जी के और हम लोगों के बीच में. उसका सीधा लाभ उनको मिला था. और इस बार पहले दिन से ही किसी प्रकार के वोट में बिखराव नहीं था. और जो वोट पिछली बार कई कारणों से उनको मिल गए थे वो उनके साथ अब नहीं है. इसलिए बीजेपी नेक टू नेक फाइट में है, ये बिल्कुल सिर्फ अखबारों में या मीडिया में देखने को मिलती.
आप कह रहे हैं कि लालू यादव के साथ आपने हाथ मिलाया, पर बहुत से लोग कहते हैं कि ये एक आपके लिए एक क्राउन ऑफ थॉर्न्स है, मतलब कि एक मुकुट है कांटों का, तो आप उतार भी नहीं सकते. अब आपने पहन लिया तो कोई खुशी की बात नहीं है.
नहीं, ऐसे ही लोग बहुत तरह की बात करते रहते हैं. उसमें से एक बात यह भी है, ये हम लोगों का और लालू जी का जो अलाइनमेंट है, इसको लेकर लोग इसी तरह के कयास लगाते रहते हैं. ये जो कुछ भी है, हम लोगों का बैकग्राउंड एक है, एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट के. तो ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
आप
कांटों का ताज पहनने जा रहे हैं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं। काफी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है आपस में, और आपने देखा कि जो महागठबंधन है इसमें किसी बात को लेकर कोई विवाद सामने नहीं है।
All right, and let's go back to Mr. Sinha. Mr. Sinha, as you were earlier saying that it is going to be a neck-and-neck fight in all the constituencies between the Mahagathbandhan and the BJP. We just heard what Nitish Kumar is saying. He's predicting a landslide victory for the Grand Alliance, and he's saying कि बिहार में कुछ neck-and-neck नहीं होता. Do you think this landslide victory that he's predicting, is it too far-fetched, or do you think it's a real possibility?
As I told you, both the groupings are making their own claim. Like Nitish Kumar is saying it will be a landslide victory for his grouping. As yesterday, just after completion of the voting, Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad held a press conference and he claimed that NDA is winning 40 out of the 50 seats which went to voting yesterday. So there are tall claims from both the sides, from all the leaders of the two groupings. But the ground reality is that it's a close fight, neck and neck fight, and it can be either side. In either side they can win, but the victory margin, what I see on the ground, will be small, and it won't be, there won't be much gap between the victorious grouping and the runner-up.
All right.
Although Nitish Kumar has a good image, people of Bihar have seen him working for last 10 years. They have hope on him, but his siding with Lalu Prasad is working against him on ground, at least in a major section of voters. But the people of Bihar have seen him. He has won accolades all around the world for his good work and for bringing Bihar back to development. All the surveys are also showing he is much ahead of any of his rival as a choice for the chief minister. But his alliance with Lalu Prasad has some disadvantage also for him, which NDA is trying to capitalize by giving slogan like Jangal Raj and other slogans. So people are accepting that also. We cannot ignore that.
Mr. Sinha, since you are in Bihar, just tell us, you must have spoken to a number of voters there. How much is this slogan of Bahari versus Bihari resonating really with the people of Bihar?
The thing is that like both the grouping, Grand Secular Alliance and NDA, they are trying to pick up issues against each other. So this slogan of Bihari versus Bahari is just to highlight that NDA failed to select anybody as a chief ministerial candidate. Just to press that issue to the public, they have made this. They are saying it seems Prime Minister himself is contesting for chief ministership of Bihar. This is what Nitish Kumar also lampoons him. Is he preparing to hold additional charge of Bihar? So this issue has two-pronged strategy. First, to highlight that they failed to elect a leader. NDA failed to elect a leader in Bihar, and this Prime Minister, he is coming and making a vigorous campaign in Bihar election as he is preparing to hold an additional charge of Chief Minister of Bihar. So both the things are included in this slogan. But Bihari versus Bahari, thing is that people of Bihar have seen Nitish Kumar working. This is what he wants to highlight. You have seen me working. You have hope on me. Why to go for somebody else when I am here? So he is trying to highlight all these things through this slogan of Bihari versus Bahari, which Prime Minister has also rebutted. He has cleverly rebutted that people, Prime Minister cannot be declared as Bahari in any state. He may be a native of any state, but he is Prime Minister of the entire country. That means the entire country is his home and he is representing the entire country. So within both own country and some state, if somebody can be called a Bahari, that means people will need visa to visit one state, from one state to another state.
So both the alliances, both the Mahagathbandhan and the NDA really trying their best to woo the voters. Remember, voting for 81 seats have already happened in the first two phases, and for the remaining 2 more rounds will be held for the rest of the 112 seats. Thank you so much, Mr. Sinha, for joining us this morning and sharing your views on that story. Meanwhile, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will resume campaigning for the Grand Alliance with the 3 election rallies in Bihar today. The third phase of elections were held on Wednesday with 53% overall voting registered. Now, Rahul will address rallies in Benipatti in Madhubani district, Kishanganj and Pranpur in Katihar. Voting in these places will take place in the 5th and the final phase of elections on 5th of November. Well, after the third phase of polls ended on Wednesday, now voting in 112 more seats remaining out of the 243 seats in the next 2 phases of polling will take place. And AIMM chief Asaduddin Owaisi was arrested on charges of violating the Model Code of Conduct in the Bihar elections. He was later released on bail. The incident took place in Purnia district on Wednesday, where Owaisi was allegedly making an election speech at a religious place. Owaisi was arrested from the spot and booked for holding a public meeting without getting a prior permission. Owaisi, however, denied that he had gone to the place for canvassing and claimed that he went there only to offer prayers and not for campaigning. The AIMM president was later released on bail on personal bond of 10,000 rupees after spending about an hour at the police station. The AIMM leader was on a visit to Purnia district to campaign for his party's candidate from Besi Assembly constituency. And in Verdict 2015, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more election news. Stay with us.
Hottest topics.
If you can facilitate the opening up and the expansion of the international border trade, you can add to the economy.
370 धारा जो है वो जम्मू कश्मीर को मुल्क के साथ जोड़े रखती है.
Candid confessions.
The Congress has not been able to communicate.
We have to revive our links with the masses.
World-class healthcare is available to only a handful of people in this country.
Courting controversies.
A lot of leaders today think that they rule by divine right.
Now, media has become manageable.
Watch RSTV engage personalities to the point. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Thursday, 1:30 and 5:30 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching Verdict 2015. Now, Jeeradeh village in Siwan district has an illustrious association with history. Well, it is the birthplace of one of the leading figures of India's freedom struggle. But so far, the village hasn't benefited from it. The villagers are hoping that this election will change this.
This is the ancestral home of India's first president. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was born in this very house and lived for a considerable time even after he became president. Today, it's a national monument, a place of inspiration for visitors.
बहुत गौरव की बात है कि भारत के प्रथम राष्ट्रपति डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद का जन्म स्थल पर मेरा भी जन्म हुआ है और मुझे खुशी होती है। महाराज के राजनेताओं को इनके आदर्शों और मूल्यों को आत्मसात नहीं करते, बड़ी दुख की बात है।
Despite its historical importance, the village of around 10,000 people has not seen any extraordinary development. Farmers hold the government responsible for the worst irrigation system in the village. Equally bad are education, health and roads.
यह राजेंद्र बाबू का इलाका आज भी क्षमा करेंगे, अपनी मूलभूत सुविधाओं से वंचित है।
The village comes under the Siwan constituency. Its MP Om Prakash Yadav has taken up the responsibility of developing the village.
अपने सांसद विकास मद से हमने 115 सोलर देने का काम किए हैं। कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उस गांव को विकास किया जाए और वहां 100% तो नहीं कहेंगे, लेकिन 90-95% हमने शौचालय बनाने का काम किया है।
Villagers feel successive governments have not done justice to the place that gave the nation such a great leader. They hope the next government will change the state of affairs and work for its betterment. Ravindra Shoran's report from Zardai in Bihar for Rajya Sabha TV.
An electricity shortage is a common complaint one hears during campaigning in Bihar. But the problem in some parts of North Bihar is different. Well, despite having a healthy power supply, electricity just doesn't reach the consumers. Our report explains why.
State government data shows that the Gopalganj grid gets 200 megawatts from the Kanti thermal power station. Of this supply, the grid provides Gopalganj 45 megawatts, Siwan 40 megawatts and Mashrak 15 megawatts. Betia, Raxaul, Valmiki Nagar and Nepal are given 90 megawatts. That accounts for only 190 megawatts. But despite the surplus, many villages in North Bihar still remain powerless.
पहले के स्थिति के अपेक्षा अभी तो अच्छा बिजली मिल रहा है। अभी टाउन को 18 से 20-22 मेगावाट तक बिजली मिल जा रहा है और देहात को अभी 14-16 घंटा मिलता है।
Gopalganj has at least 12 power stations, of which 8 are located in rural areas. But tottering power poles and weak cables are preventing supply reaching many areas, even cities.
गांव के में बिजली की स्थिति अच्छी नहीं है। अभी भी गांव में बिजली नहीं मिलती है। कभी बिजली आती है और थोड़ा दिखाकर फिर चली जाती है। कभी कभी किसी दिन 1 घंटा 2 घंटा रहती है, लेकिन वो भी लगातार 2 घंटा नहीं रहती है।
कभी भी बराबर लाइन नहीं रहता है और हमेशा कभी डिम रहता है, कभी एकदम अगरबत्ती की तरह जलता है और बिजली बिल हमेशा आता रहता है।
Residents in electricity-starved villages claim that politicians are getting away with broken promises.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी ने जो घोषणा किया था, जो वादा किया था, आज अपने वादे पर खरे हैं और जो बिजली की समस्या है, शहरों में 18 से 20 और 22 घंटा बिजली आम ग्रामीणों को मिल रही है और देहात में 14 से 16 घंटा बिजली ग्रामीणों को मिल रही है।
देखिए, इस चुनाव में बिजली का मुद्दा बनेगा। जो भी हम आए, हमें कम से कम 24 घंटा पावर दे। जो हमें आज 16 घंटा मिल रहा है, वो हमको 24 घंटा मिले।
A problem of plenty if only political parties find a way to bring the supply to the consumer. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, modern-day Champaran is divided into East and West districts. West Champaran has 9 assembly seats. In the last assembly elections, the NDA won 4 seats while the JDU took 2. Now, let's take a look at what are the major issues here.
North Bihar's Champaran district is where India discovered the might of Satyagrah. That was in 1917 when Mahatma Gandhi led impoverished farmers who were forced to cultivate indigo instead of food.
आज स्थिति ये है कि जो किसानों के लिए उन्होंने सुविधाएं उपलब्ध किया, तो उसमें आज देखिए हम लोग यहाँ गन्ने की खेती बड़े अच्छे ढंग से होती थी। यहाँ पर 7-8 शुगर फैक्ट्री थे, बंद हो, हमारे जिले के सारे शुगर फैक्ट्री बंद हो गए। एक सुगौली किसी तरह से चलता है।
The state was split into East and West Champaran 44 years ago. But in the race for development, both districts are equally lagging behind. In modern India as well, Champaran's farmers, it seems, are unable to escape poverty.
दूर भाग रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे बाहर जाके अपना कमाना, खेती छोड़ रहे हैं। बहुत सा खेत परित भी रह जाता है। हम भी तो छोड़ने वाले हैं, समझिए कि अबर भर है, बाकी छोड़ ही देंगे।
हम लोग के बच्चों के धान में कोई वृद्धि नहीं है, न पानी है, न खाद है, सब चीज़ महंगे है। अब क्या करें, हम लोग मजबूर हो रहे हैं, इसलिए नहीं धान फूट रहा है पानी के कारण। अब हम लोग की हिम्मत हार रहा है।
Amid the struggle to acquire prosperity, farmers of Champaran will be voting in the 4th phase on 1st of November. A combined 10 lakh population of both districts will be hoping their vote will be for the development and growth. Ravindra Shoran's report from Champaran for Rajya Sabha TV.
That's all in this edition of Verdict 2015. News and updates continue on your channel. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.